Hi, everybody. It's Vicki Hinze. Today, I want to continue with the Inspire Me series. This is part 4. If you haven't viewed the first 3 parts, you might want to go back and do that before listening to this one. We're in the middle of discussing things writers should ignore. And by ignore, I really don't mean ignore, I mean assess and judge. Today, the topic is must-dos. When you finished writing a book, you think you're finished writing the book, but you're really not finished with the book. Today's market requires that authors get more involved in the promotion and publicity and advertising aspects. The truth of the matter is, the publisher can't handle all of that. There are some things that the author just has to do because they require personal involvement. Other aspects that are under consideration are publishers just don't have the manpower, money, or time to do everything that you would really want done or that they would want done. Now, when you work with a publisher, many of them will send you a little care package, I call it. And it gives you a lot of good information on things that you can do to help promote your books, and some of them are 2-page notes, and some of them are 22-page PDF files, and some of them have booklets. There's a lot of good information there. My concern is that too many authors look at the information they get and think, oh my gosh, I have to do all of this? How am I ever going to get to do all of that and write and have a life? Well, while a publisher would like for you to do all of those things, they understand too that it's not realistic for you to do everything. No one, you're one person, okay? So what they're doing is giving you some guidance, and you choose which things you do. Well, naturally, as an author, you want to do the things you're best at doing. 2 things that really are must-dos, whether you're talking to publishers, editors, agents, or other authors, are a website and a newsletter. When you get your website, keep it up to date. Don't use some goofy URL. Use the name that you're writing under, if at all possible. If you can't get the name you write under, do something like the Vicki Hinze site or Vicki Hinze author, something to cue people. You don't do that just for the publisher's sake or for the book's sake, for your sake. It's really essential. People, instead of Googling your name, will actually just type in your name.com and look for you that way first. So make it easy for them. Make it really easy as you can, for them to discover you. Foreign rights agents look at that. People who are interested in your work for film. All kinds of different industry professionals look for you that way. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm picking up a bit of a cold, and I have to pause to cough. Excuse the rough transitions. Hopefully you'll find what I'm saying interesting enough to endure that with me. So you need a website. You need your pertinent information on it, pertinent to the work, pertinent to you, the individual. You should have a bio on it too. Beyond that, it's really kind of up to you what you want to put on there. If you could put content that engages your readers, that makes them more interested in coming to your site to see what's there, see what you're up to and what's going on. The other must-do that ranks high on everyone's list is an author newsletter. 2 reasons. 1, to stay in touch with your readers. After all, you're writing books because you want readers to read them, and they want to know, they're interested, they want to know what's going on in your world. So you give them the information that you can give them, and exchange with them, have a dialogue with them in your newsletters. Some people say to send them out once a month, some say quarterly, some say bi-weekly. I say, depending on where you are in your career and what you have to say. Don't waste their time sending them something when you have nothing. If you have something that you think your readers will enjoy knowing or enjoy hearing about, or information that you need to share with them, by all means, send them an email newsletter. You also want to keep your mailing list. Can be very valuable to you. It is your direct connection with your readers. Now, some of the other things that are considered must-dos are really up to you. It's up to you to decide whether you want to do them or not. By that, I mean things like interviews, to get media training if you're not comfortable so that you can become comfortable. You don't want to do anything that you're not really comfortable doing, because it shows. And when you're not comfortable, it makes other people not comfortable. So if you can get training and get comfortable, great, then do these other things. But if you can't, it'd probably be best for you to just say, that's not my thing, I'm not good at that. Because the impression that you want to make is a good one. You want to be open and friendly and accessible, but you don't want to do that if you're in a position like a couple of years ago. I watched an author do an interview, and she was really abrasive during the interview. She's a lovely woman, don't get me wrong, and she had written a really good book. But she came across in that interview so abrasive. There's just no gentle way to put it. It hurt her. It didn't help her. And it hurt her book. It didn't help her. She did not endear herself to her readers. So in the future, it would probably be best if she stuck to print interviews so that she could read what she had written and have time to digest it and to put herself in the position and mindset of saying, now, if I'm a reader, how am I going to take what is said? Very different when you switch perspectives like that, and very important. You want your readers to be comfortable with you and to enjoy their time with you as much as you enjoy your time with them. See, that's very important to me, enjoying my time with people. It happens when you're a people person and you're in a profession where you spend so much time alone. Some other things that are on the must-do list are social networking. Now, we all know that there are a gazillion sites out there. Facebook and Twitter are two of the major ones. Tumblr is one. Google Plus. There's Yahoo groups. There are just a ton of things. You have to look at your life, your responsibilities, and your investments and see what you have time to do. You need to visit them. Go visit them and see which forums you feel most comfortable in. Again, if you're comfortable, then you have the opportunity to make others comfortable. I love Facebook and Twitter. Facebook, you really get the opportunity to chat and to hear what other people are thinking and what they have to say, to get snippets into their lives. It's very interesting to me, and I love my time on Facebook. I have withdrawal when I'm not around those guys because they're fun, they're interesting, and I enjoy it. Now, if that sounds like torture to you, you might want to opt for something like Twitter, where you do 140 characters, or like Tumblr, where you don't have to say anything. You can just post a photograph, and that's a post. That's good. Those are microblogs. Another thing is blogging. Okay, I love blogging. To me, it is my time when in my head I imagine myself sitting at my kitchen table with a ton of other people, and we're having a good old-fashioned chat. We talk life, death, and the universe. In the past, I did multiple blogs. And I still do in a sense, but what I've done is consolidated them all under blog, and then I do different types. I do my faith zone, which I discuss my spiritual journey. I do my kitchen table, which is me in chat mode, talking about anything there. I do thinking aloud for those days when I'm really busy, and I sense that my readers are really, really busy too, and I respect their time. So I give them a single thought to ponder on during the day. And the fourth one is on writing. which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a video blog, but it's still a blog. I enjoy it. I'm very comfortable doing it. You know, when I started writing, I didn't know any other writers, and I fell into an awful lot of mud puddles and went to the school of hard knocks. Everything was difficult. Finding out anything was difficult. So for me, it became almost an obsession, the desire to share with others so that I could help other writers not have to go through those mud puddles. You know, we learn from each other. We don't all have to hit the same mud puddles. You'll find your own, even if you manage, you know, to avoid a couple that I can do. Well, if you like to blog, and you can help other people, whatever your expertise, that's a really good thing. If you're not comfortable doing it, you don't want to talk about issues or different, whatever you want to blog about, you get to decide how personal you want to be. Me, I'm open about just about anything. But you get to decide in your blog what you want to do. It's a wonderful way to interact and a wonderful way to open a dialogue and to let people see the you behind the writer. So again, it's a must do, but it's down on the list. It's not an essential thing to do. It is good if you're comfortable doing it. Media interviews, book signings, workshops and conferences, all of those things you'll be asked to do. You have to find the mediums that work for you, the ones, again, that comfort level, because it is painful to watch someone do an interview or to discuss something that they really don't want to discuss. You sense their tension, you sense their discomfort, and it actually can make you hurt inside. It can put knots in your stomach. That's not good for the people watching. It's not good for the person doing it. You need to find healthy things, healthy ways of interacting. If you don't want to do it because you've never done it, that's fear. And you don't let fear rule you. If you need to take some media training so that you feel comfortable talking to people, do it. If it works, then you feel comfortable doing it. People feel comfortable watching it. It's great. If you still don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do that kind of interview or that kind of media. Find other venues. There are plenty of them out there. On workshops and conferences, I've done a whole lot of them. Now, as most of you know, I love to teach. I just love it. So sharing, for me, is a way to keep you out of mud puddles and so you don't get mired down in the weeds. And I remember all those frustrations. Gosh, if I can do anything to keep other people from having to go through those frustrations, I am all about it. Conferences, go with a conference goal. It should be a win-win situation. You go with a conference goal, you meet your goals, you seek to give and to receive. It's always better when you do that, when you opt for win-win situations. Lately, for the past couple years, you know, I had to go through a series of eye surgeries. So to fly, I have to put goop in my eyes, which means I can't fly alone. And so I haven't been to as many conferences. And you know what? I really miss them because many times my conference goal was to connect with writers and talk to people that you can discuss writing and their eyes don't glaze over in 2 seconds flat. Non-writers, they'll try to be good, but you can just see the glaze. So it's really good soul food to get around other writers to discuss writing so that you can refill your creative well. You may like to teach workshops. You may get knots in your stomach for a week at the thought of it. You don't want to do that. That's not healthy. Again, do what you have to do to get over the hump, so to speak. If it's fear that's holding you back, don't give in fear. do something about it. Get training, practice, do something. Very often, in the early years, I felt like I had to be totally prepared. That's the only way that I wouldn't be nervous. I had to be 100% sure of every word that I was going to say. And I would practice for hours and hours and hours and hours. And you know what? When I look back on that, yes, I was prepared. I had the information set. But it also came across like I was prepared and had the information set. Instead, now I look at doing workshops and doing video blogs like this as an opportunity to just chat and to share with you. And so I don't do notes. I mean, I may write down a couple of words here or there, but it's like you're sitting at my kitchen table and we're just sitting down having a chat. One thing that I discovered is that when you go in and you talk to a group of writers, if you're nervous, it's a pretty good idea to just say, you know what, I am really nervous about this. I'm not very accustomed to speaking in front of people, but I'm going to do it because I want you to have the information that I have to share with you. And then, you know what? Let the information speak for itself. Forget about being scared or whatever, tense. Just talk to them. They're human beings. They want to hear what you have to say. It's information they need. So find a way to get around your discomfort to where you become comfortable so that the people that you're speaking with are also comfortable. Sorry about that. I had to have another cough break. The thing I want to leave you with in this is that many of the must-dos are a good idea, like visiting other websites, ones where readers congregate, visiting book club sites. All of those things are very good. And if you enjoy them, I mean, they're wonderful fodder. You learn so much, and these people get to know you, and you develop these friendships. Some of them can last a lifetime, but they're only good if you are comfortable doing them, and if you have the time to do them, and you want to do them. It's kind of like the difference between a business trip that you have to take, but you really don't want to take, and one that you really are looking forward to. Well, that's how your must-do list should read also. It should be things that you really want to do. There are so many things in life where we have little control, and that's going to be our subject next time. But in these things, we can control them because we have options. You don't have to do all of these things, and you don't have to do all of them all of the time. You can do what fits and what feels right to you at this time. Work on your skills to get yourself comfortable, not just for you, but for others. And when it comes to the must-dos, you really kind of have a short list. A website and a newsletter. Everything else is secondary to those two things, in my humble opinion. I hope that you found something in this of value to you. And next time we'll discuss things you can control. You know, there's a whole lot you can't, but there are some you can. We'll discuss that next time. Until then, blessings. Bye.